Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
He stole a lot of thunder from one of the better receiver prospects at the All-Star game, and it helped him get noticed by scouts around the league. He made one of the biggest studs in college disappear from the game, netting 0 catches and only a few targets. He played lockdown defense all day, removing his assignment from the play almost every time. And whenever a pass was thrown to the receiver, he was the first player to have a hand on the ball. The coaches left him on an island on his own, and he was more than capable in single coverage. The team is fortunate to have picked him up before anyone else could, and I'm sure he can have an immediate impact on their secondary.
The 49ers are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Bisons have made their pick. Adam, tell us about him.
He's a Heisman-winning defender. Let me say that one more time. He won the Heisman, and he's a defensive player. Need I say more? You can imagine how well he played this season to win the biggest award in college over several offensive playmakers. The trophy was well-deserved, and according to Matt Miller, he projects really well as a defender in the NFL. I think this is a home run pick, and it's great to see a defender get some well-deserved recognition.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. All right, team is now off the clock. Adam Schefter, can you tell us about their newest player?
No receiver put on a greater show at his pro day than he did. His former coach told me he purposefully had the quarterback throw the ball away from his body during passing drills. It forced him to react to the ball, extend for it, and make some spectacular catches. If he can make those same catches with NFL caliber defenders covering him, he has the potential to be a dangerous weapon, and that's exactly what the team is hoping for.
Well, wait, looks like both war rooms are feverishly back on the phones. I think that means a trade is coming. The Saints are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about the Bengals' newest player?
His pro day was a magnification of his bigger problem areas. He didn't suffer any drops during the passing drills, but he had several passes that were hauled in very awkwardly. He bobbled a few of them several times before he was able to completely secure the ball. With how tight defenders cover receivers in the NFL, he'll need to catch the ball and bring it to his body before the hit or strip. The receivers coach will need to work with him on catching balls away from his body with confidence.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
Long talked about as a top 3 defensive back prospect, his draft stock fell dramatically after a series of consecutive struggles late in the season against inferior wide receivers. Many speculated that these struggles were due to a series of nagging injuries, a theory which may have been validated by his strong performance at his pro day. I was able to talk with several GMs about him at the Combine, and they told me he possesses the raw physical skills needed to become a top-tier NFL defensive back. 3 skills in particular were mentioned by every GM I spoke to: exceptional physicality at the line of scrimmage, a nose for the ball, and better hands than most receivers they've seen and scouted. The reason for his collegiate struggles may forever be shrouded in mystery, but they'll soon be forgotten if he's able to realize his full football potential.
The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
The key concern I've been hearing from several GMs is that he simply isn't in good enough physical shape to see significant action early in the season. Even with a full offseason of NFL conditioning, the feeling is that he will not be able to stay on the field every down and maintain that high level of play coaches want out of their guys. The game never slows down at this level. He's going to have to get in better shape if he wants to be an every down player. This is a kid who may eventually make an impact in the league, but it may take an entire year to get his body into the kind of shape needed to make an impact at this level.
The Packers are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
It's no surprise seeing him get drafted at this point, considering he was one of the hottest running backs in college this year. When's the last time he rushed for less than 100 yards in a game? If you check, it was actually 2 seasons ago, and that was due to a minor injury. The guy's a threat to take it to the house every time he touches the ball. And if he gets by that first tackle, watch out because it's daylight from there on. As long as he can quickly adjust to the speed of the NFL, he has the potential to be a great back for this team.
The Bills are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
He was always a player who cared about academics, and that couldn't have been made any more clear when he decided to forego his senior season in order to take on more classes. His goal was to graduate before entering the NFL draft, and at the sacrifice of his final year of football eligibility, he was able to pull it off. The decision left some experts scratching their heads, but guys like Matt Miller saw it as a smart move to stay injury-free and remove the distraction of getting his diploma once he went pro. At least with the degree, he has a backup job now in case this whole football thing doesn't work out for him.
The Packers made their selection. For more about him, let's go to Adam Schefter.
He had one of the worst pro days you could have for a defensive lineman. One coach put him through a series of drills, but halfway through you could clearly see him beginning to tire. According to Matt Miller, he looked considerably tired in the second half of the day and took frequent breaks. At the moment, he doesn't look like an every down lineman. He's really going to need to work on his conditioning to make it through an entire NFL season.
The 49ers are now on the clock. Eagles have made their selection. For more about him, let's go to Adam Schefter.
As aggressive as a defensive lineman as you will find, here's a guy who plays with reckless abandon in his quest to bring down an opposing quarterback. Many I talk to point to this mentality as the reason why he ended up with a ruptured pectoral muscle and cracked sternum, ending his college career. A tendo Achilles allograft reconstruction was needed to repair the pectoral and graft it back into place. Procedure typically takes 12 to 18 months to return from, yet he was able to achieve medical clearance in just 7. What remains to be seen, however, is if his all-out style of play will have changed at all, knowing that an aggravation of the injury likely means an end to his career. Fans of the team should not be surprised if we see a much more passive version of him come this fall. The special shoulder pads he'll need to wear to protect the area could slow him down by themselves.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Bison are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock.